Fausto Puglisi, president of Cyber Trading University.
Most people always focus on the past, where as a professional day trader, we just focus on the future. You can do very well in trading, and you don't have to have a good amount of movement for the stock to go up. All right, welcome back, everybody. My name is Fausto from Cyber Traders at Cyber Trading University. We have a new guest for the first time, Chad Searcey here, and I'm really excited about having him on the show for the first time. You know, obviously, we talk about trading, and we always like to bring new traders in different types of the market. If it's futures, crypto, stock trading, I focus on more the day trading side. But here's somebody who has over 2 decades plus of experience and has been educating people for so many years. And not only that, he was an educator himself, as not in just in the trading industry. What I was always impressed, he was also a principal at an elementary school, which I really thought was really, really cool when I was reading up on him. So I wanted him to come on. He's doing trading full time, and you know, has a very, very well-known name in this industry. So Chad, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks. Thanks for having me. Excited
No problem, Chad. Great to hear you. So, so Chad, so yeah, like I was saying, I was very inspired. What made you get into trading from being a principal, which I think is like one of the greatest jobs here where I live on Long Island?
Yeah.
These guys make a lot of money. They have fun. I mean, I kind of know a little bit, but why are you doing it? But maybe the people here want to know a little bit, because we do have a lot of people that are teachers here, educators. I train a lot of professors and stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was principal 15 years. I would say it was probably 3 or 4 years before I retired that a buddy of mine said, "Hey, you should learn how to trade options." You know, and I didn't really know much about it at the time, but he had a lot of courses that he had made. So, kind of on my spare time, I would watch his courses and kind of learn on my own. And that was kind of how I started getting my feet wet. So I would then usually trade some longer term strategies as as a principal. I mean, I didn't even have 5 minutes to sit down and eat lunch. And so to sit down and actually look at charts and those types of things just wasn't going to happen. So, but I was able to look at some of his trade alerts, place them, go about my day. And then it kind of evolved as a few years passed. My buddy had asked me, how many years do you retire? I said, probably 6 or 7. And he's like, "Well, I got a gig for you." And I was like, "Well, what's the gig?" And part of the gig was to come and help him grow his business, and then help teach others how to trade. I think he kind of knew with my education background that that could be something that could help members. And so 2019, retired, took early retirement, and have been kind of working with people and helping people and continuing to have my trading evolve since then. So
Chad, let me tell you something. You know, I don't know what made you retire early, not in a bad way, because here, I mean, nobody retires in the school industry, because, great pensions, great everything, they do very well, especially being a principal. I mean, I know it's a big responsibility being a principal. And I kind of like, where I'm leading to this is that some people don't realize that there is another business out there where you can make money on your own. I mean, I know it is a big responsibility to be a principal, and you always kind of getting scrutinized and this and that. You're always trying to appease everyone. This is such a great job. You are your own boss or whatever. And you know what? I've trained a lot of guys like you, even in the past, been doing this for 35 years. And and educators are very good because you kind of know the program, you know what it is, and you enjoy doing it. You like changing people's lives, where you did it more on the elementary level. And I guess now you're doing it more on an adult level, you know? So what was the transition that you've learned a little bit more about, like what are the challenges that you find that, with your education background, helping people to learn how to trade properly?
Yeah. Well, for me, there really wasn't a huge transition from my principal job to like some of the coaching that I do. Because as a principal, my job, and a lot of people don't really understand what a principal does. I mean, the perception is way off from what, I mean, my role as a principal is to make sure kids have a safe and caring environment. They're providing meaningful experiences, and that I continue to make teachers better teachers. Okay, so my job, it was a beautiful thing that the best things that I could do as a principal is I would go into classrooms every day and watch some of the best teachers around teach. So I'm able to take things that they do and then turn around and use them as the teachers have goals. The teachers have, we incorporate best learning practices into their goal setting. So I'm able to help coach and teach them, because every teacher in my school had a professional improvement plan. They had goals aligned to our school goals. They're aligned to our district goals, processes and systems in place that we created. And so being able to, like, now it's just a different topic. As traders, everybody learns differently. Everybody learns at different rates and speeds. So it might take me teaching someone one-on-one a little longer, whereas one person I might be able to say it, show them and tell them a couple things and boom, they got it. Whereas somebody else, I've got to break it down into these action steps, have to be very specific in terms of what I want them to do in order to try to get better at whatever their goal is. So the transition wasn't that big of a deal for me because I was teaching teachers as a principal. And now I'm teaching people that want to get better at trading. So really, though, it's been easier because traders want to hear me talk. They want to hear what I have to say. Teachers, a lot of times, they don't, whatever the principal says, we don't even want to hear it, Sometimes it's a hard sell sometimes to them. Whereas it's an easy sell to people that want to get better at trading.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people starve for it, and it makes your job so much easier. You appreciate what you're doing a little bit more. And like I said before, it really does change people's lives, which is big because trading, this, it is a huge failure rate. It really is. And the main reason why is because everyone wants to be self-taught. It's like, why I gotta send my kid to school? I'll homeschool it. I'll just do it myself. And there's sometimes not wrong with it, but sometimes it's not always the greatest way of doing things, being self-taught. You got to go out there and do it, and that is awesome. And welcome to the community, because I always love having more educators in this industry. I was just telling you before, when we were in the green room, that it's a huge business, but it's a very small community, and we really need more educators. A lot of my students that I've trained went on and opened up their own schools and whatever, and it's okay. Like, it's not like I don't look at it as it being a competition thing, or no. Listen, we have to put the word out there. We really got to need good people out there, and so on. Now, getting back to your trading. So what got you to find, listen, options, I find them very difficult. A lot of people hurt themselves on options. There's so many different styles of trading options. There's Greeks, there's covered calls, whatever it is. There's a lot of people here that try to do it, but fail miserably. Okay. Why is that? What are they doing wrong? Are they trading the wrong style? Like, how do you find your own style? I hope I'm not hitting you with too many things, but what really is what driving that, to be part of that big failure rate of options?
Yeah. So a lot of what I see when I talk to people, whether it's in a coaching situation or in a Discord community, is they're not patient enough. They want to jump in too soon. They want to start trading live money too soon before they fully understand exactly what their risk is. I mean, as you know, trading is risk management and mindset. I mean, 100%. Like, when I talk to people, I want them to understand that before you start trading live money, you should know exactly what a max loss is, a max profit, 20% profit. What's it like to hit 20%, then get stopped out if that's what you're doing? Just what is all the scenarios that are going to happen when you're trading live money? You should know all that before you trade live money. And if you don't, then in my opinion, you're rushing into it, because that's how I see people fail. I also see people that are like, I want to do this for a living. And I always tell them it's great. However, I still believe it's very important to have some type of income coming in, instead of just putting all your eggs in your trading basket.
Yeah. You gotta be an entrepreneur. You gotta be a little bit more of a different, and you gotta have multiple businesses, you have the freedom there's not like a full, I mean, I know some people try to be here all day and I'm like, that's crazy. And you don't have to, like you said, but yeah, you're right. I do recommend that. And another thing I want to, praise you on what you said, because I preach the same exact thing is you got to have a goal, how much you want to make. Like when I day trade, I teach people how to learn how to make $1 a day. And I'm like, what the hell's $1? I don't know. You have 1,000 shares, stock goes from 7 to 8. You made $1, $250,000 salary. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? It's not, but they see things that go up. Well, this went up $5. This went up $12. I'm like, listen, you get lucky is one thing, but that's not your goal. And I'm glad you put it that there. It's more like the bulls and the bears eat, I guess we always told, and the pigs get slaughtered.
Yeah. And part of how I evolved into trading what I trade right now is, I mean, it took me several years to really kind of find what works for me in terms of strategies. And so as I develop my own trading plan, what does that look like? So I have these strategies, and within each strategy, I have to know what my risk management is for each one. And so that took time. And one of the best things I ever did, one of the big things that people that follow me is they like my delta neutral trading that I do. It's a price action iron condor. A lot of people that follow me named it TLC. Trade like Chad is what they named it. But I paper traded for 2.5 months, this process that I was trying to create before I traded any live money. And then I created a course for it. And now people can watch the course. They can follow my trades. But my point is that I had been trading for like 6 years, and I still paper traded for 2.5 months to figure out everything I'm talking about as far as risk management. What's a max loss look like? How many contracts should I do? What's best for my account size? Like I learned all that through my paper trading process. And a lot of people just don't want to take the time to paper trade. And I get that. I totally get it. But even as I'm going on 10 years now of trading, and I'll still use it from time to time to test things. So I think paper trading can be a very valuable skill or task.
It could be a valuable skill, but then there's the other issue I have with paper trading. Mm-hmm. Some people don't stop doing it. I know people that says, "Oh, I've been paper trading for a year." I'm like, "What?
Yeah,
a year?" I'm like, "How are you paying your bills? This and that. Like, what makes you?" Like I always tell everybody, I'd rather just trade one share than trade no shares. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to have some little skin in the game a little bit. It's like you're trading options. I mean, how much could one contract possibly cost?
Yeah.
You're not going to make a lot, but you know what? Sometimes you got to get to that next level.
Yeah.
And like you said, it comes to a point when paper trading goes far.
If you're paper trading something for a year, then my question would be, what are you trying to learn? What else are you trying to learn? Like, are you just doing different things? My opinion when you paper trade is you're doing it because you have found something that potentially works for you. Mm-hmm. And what exactly is the risk involved? Now, the other piece to it is your mindset, because when there's no skin in the game, you're not worried about much. But what I tell people when I'm coaching them is, and I know this is hard, but when you do transfer then to live money, you shouldn't have these big emotional swings when you lose, because you already know what that loss is going to be, mm-hmm. because you're aware of it and you've adjusted your contracts to the size that's appropriate for your account. I see people that don't make it in trading because they're just trading too big, and then that's when problems happen. But
I was just talking about that today in my trading floor. Sometimes be better off on a swing trade or like an option, be a little more diversified, then don't put everything in one basket. But I did say there is a time when you do put something all in one basket. Like I was trying to compare it to, I hate to use gambling, but I was telling everyone this story once. I did a trade show in Vegas, and I don't know if anyone here plays blackjack, but the dealer shows 5 and I had 2 aces. I split it, and then I got another ace. I split it again, and I got another ace. So I had 4 aces. And then, and I was going all in. I mean, here I am just playing. I went there's a time when you just know when you're, as a good trader,
Yeah.
you know, when you go in. But most people don't look at it that way. They
Right.
think they're like, you know, they want to go all in, this and that. And then what happens is that you dig yourself in a hole, and it's very hard to dig yourself out, and just dig yourself more and more. And that's why it's the big failure rate, which leads me to that next question. As you know, for doing this for so long, what's the biggest lesson you learned about how to help traders to succeed and get past that hurdle?
Well, it's kind of goes back to what I was talking about in terms of everyone learns differently. Is I have to find out what is this person's current strengths and weaknesses, and then you take those weaknesses and you turn them into opportunities for improvement, and then you develop action steps and an action plan to get better at whatever it is they're weak at. So really getting to know the person. Everyone learns differently at different rates and speeds.
Mm-hmm.
So when I've done coaching, you know, I'll do multiple sessions or I'll do one session depending on what they want. But multiple sessions, you know, we could put 6-8 weeks in between our sessions so that you have data that then we can collect to see if what it is, you know, you're doing is working or not working.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, that's the big thing. And you know, I'd mentioned to you, I think before we started, that I use the Baldrige criteria for performance excellence in my school. I was a trained Missouri Quality Award examiner, which we would go into organizations and be like, okay, so you say you're doing this, this, and this. Let's see, and let's interview people, and we would give them feedback on what do they need. Do they have goals? Are there do they have action plans for each goals? What's their mission, vision, and values? Is everything they're doing tied to that? You know, how do you use professional development for your workers? There's a big process to all that. So I take those processes and in coaching, I'm using them. I'm tailoring them to each individual person because everyone's different, and so I need to find out how quickly or how slow do I need to go, and what do they currently know? What do they currently not know? And then let's develop a plan together. So
Chad, you know, I love what you just said. And I hope everyone here is listening very carefully what he just said, because what you do is exactly how I was trained as a market maker and how we teach here at Cyber Trade University, same exact way. You know, you want to be in a group class, right? Because you learn from people that have been there for a while and seasoned traders, even though it's like, you know, a beginner. And then you need to do that private one-on-one coaching because everybody learns a little bit different. You know, there's a lot of schools out there, we all know, and there's everyone's, you know, trying to tell why their program is better. But I always tell everyone, you know how you wear the good program? When you talk to the owner, you talk to the mentor, and you do that one-on-one coaching with them, because it might not be your style, and that is okay.
Sure.
But you also are doing your interviewing them to let them know, hey, you know, it might not be for you. I might not be your style, instead of going through this whole thing. And then you find out that, you know, because it doesn't end well, you know,
Right.
not every, you know, like you being a teacher or a big principal, you know, not every school, college is, you know, the right college for that kid. Like, listen, you know what? I know who you are. That's not really, I don't want to go to a big school, but that's not really for you. You're more geared to here. And you know that with your experience. And like I said, I'm glad you bring it up. That's why I like you having you here, Chad, and everybody here to learn that, because that is one of the biggest hurdles. But let's get into it and talk about your trading style. Now, what I like everybody to see is, because I was really impressed with your style, I want to share your screen. I want to tell us a little bit about what made you find that style that works and how it would work for the general public that are here listening in. So let me bring up that execution system that you got, that beautiful system. And
yeah. So real quick before we talk about my trading style, can I share one or two things about the coaching?
Sure, go ahead.
So let's see here.
I got you.
Share. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. So when it comes to like the coaching, and let's see, can you see?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, yeah. So this is a research-based best process that we use in determining how to get better at something. It's called the Plan, Do, Study, Act. It's not anything that's rocket science. It's essentially defining what the problem is. And so what I do with people is I'll do a plus delta with them in a coaching session. What exactly is going well with your trading? And then I just listen to them and I type out what they say. The deltas, what is not working? Why are you here? I start typing that out and just listing it. Then so that's creating a plan. And then the do is, okay, well, what do we need to do? What are your action steps of, what do I want you to do? So I'll put together a list, a lot of times hyperlinks, things that I want them to go to and look at and read and whatnot. And then the study is typically with trading, it's your trade results. And so they'll have like weekly check-ins with me. And then the act part is, okay, well, that's okay. Now it's 6 weeks has gone by. What exactly now? How are we doing? What do we need to go from here? And so I just want to kind of share that. So the people that are, if they're interested ever in coaching, like, it's important that when you go through it, like there should be a process in place for developing your goals and your actions. Okay. Now my trading style. So, I'm a big delta neutral guy. So I'll show you get to my PowerPoint here. Okay. So this is, you should be able to see,
Let's get it up here. There you go.
Yeah. So, for me, I became a big delta neutral trader when the 0DT options came around. And so a lot of people that I do coaching with, this is what they want me to help them with. It's the price action iron condor that I do. And let's see, I probably can't switch slides there. Can I?
You should be able, these are your slides. If you click on the bottom right, there's like a little computer screen to make it live, and you could change it.
Okay. Computer screen. Anyway, if you go to I can't figure that out in terms of how to get where I can run the PowerPoint.
Usually on the bottom, all the way in the bottom, but where the clock is, where the slide bar is, there's like a little computer screen, and that's usually what you click on to play it. All the way down at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not there on mine, but anyway. So I became a big delta neutral trader, and so the whole point of this process is finding consolidation, and then entering an iron condor. And then when it gets off centered, to add a new centered iron condor. So that's essentially like my process that people dubbed trade like Chad. And it's all it is. That's one of the strategies I trade. The strategy is an iron condor, but it's the price action I'm trading, which, it's not something you just learn overnight either. It's, what does that consolidation look like? This is a discretionary trade. It's not, I do back tested trading as well. And love trading strategies that are back tested. But this trade, I trade a 1 DTE iron condor. If the VIX is up overnight, if it's not up overnight, I don't trade it. What else do? I do some multi-iron condors in the afternoon where I might layer in, and they're either 50% profit or I close them out 10 minutes before the bell. And then I do something we call a WUGA. It's a back-tested iron condor on Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. I have a bot that trades that. And then I do some directional trading, usually in the mornings, where the market, the first hour where the market tends to swing, one way or the other. But most of my trades that I do, I'm closed out of them by the end of the day, and I don't carry a lot of risk overnight. I also do what I call an MOC butterfly the last 10 minutes of the day, which has become a very popular trade. And it's been pretty much printing the last couple months. But it's just like a 5 or 10 minute trade. I just let it go to the bell. And but that's most of the strategies that I trade. And that's just kind of something I felt I started becoming very successful at. And I used to do a lot of different things, double calendars, a lot of different swing trading, and I'll still do a little swing trading. But
you ever trade the actual stock itself, then just trade the option all the time?
I pretty much just trade the options.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm buying puts or buying calls when I'm just doing some directional trading during the day. But I think for traders, like you just have to find what's a handful of strategies that you can get better at that you want to focus on. And that's what's worked for me. I have a lot of people I do coaching with, and they have 20 different things they're doing. And for me personally, like that would just be too much.
Yeah. What do you recommend that doesn't work for, like, a lot of people have been trying that you probably would not recommend that does not work? You know what I mean? Like something that is maybe like, what you doing? What? Who taught you that? That's way risky, but it sounds sexy,
Yeah.
And
To me, it's it goes back to your risk management and position sizing. I see a lot of red flags come up for me when I'm like, well, rather than saying, well, why are you doing that strategy? I'm like, why are you doing it? If you're complaining about a loss, you're going too big. And so the majority of the complaints I hear from people is what happens when they lose trades, and a lot of it is they're just risking too much, and therefore their emotions can't handle it. And so
yeah, I mean, and you know what, Chad, I'm glad you said, like I said, that's great advice, because that's what I think a lot of the people that we have presenters all say the same thing. We all start talking about the losers. Like, it's all about controlling those losses, and I think everyone here is probably starting to realize, listening in, you are trading too much. You are trading out of your hand. Like, one of the big things that we teach at Cyber Trade University is what we call the 3 T's: tradable, trend, and track. The first T is what we call tradable. And there are different stocks that people don't realize that it's extremely volatile. I mean, like, what make you trade that stock? I mean, like, and risking that, because like you said, you'll end up getting yourself in a hole, and it's going to happen. And you know what? It's very hard to kind of like understand how to get out of something when you're starting to take a big loss,
right.
And that's, like, I think the biggest things that you teach. And that's why I guess where the coaching comes in, that you do, it's all
Right.
evaluating their trades, seeing what they're doing, and I always tell everybody, losing is a good thing. And people are like, how's it a good thing? Well, at least if you know you're going to lose in trading, right?
Yeah.
You got to know why you lost, so you don't do it again,
Right.
And just make sure you're doing a minimum amount of shares. So accept losing, and then obviously doing the coaching. And that's, I guess, where that comes into play. Now getting back to the market, what do you see what's going on in the option market? I mean, we are breaking through like all-time highs here. We're doing great. What are you looking for? What are you preparing your traders and setting up and getting ready for the next biggest maybe rally or next biggest crash?
Yeah, to me, I personally don't like it when the market's always at all-time highs. IV's low. I like it when there's a little volatility, and I know the VIX is currently I guess it's 17, so it's not too bad. But what I tell people typically is, I don't know what the market's going to do. Like, nobody does. If somebody's telling you they know what it's going to do tomorrow or next week, they're full of it. You just never know. So what I always tell people when it comes to like coaching is that's where finding a handful of strategies to trade that work for you at any market. And that TLC process, my price action iron condors, like I've done that at a 12 IV and what was it earlier this year? 50, 40, whatever it was when the tariffs first started. But I've been able to make it work either way. Same thing with my 1 DTE. A lot of the delta neutral trades. To me, it's you have to find something that works regardless of the market you're in. To me, like what the market's doing and where we're at with it, to me, that's like more long-term. Like, if we're in a big pullback right now, okay, well, this might be time for me to buy and hold some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buy the dip buyers, but for me, like when I'm trading every day, like I said, I'm closing most of my trades out in terms of, and that's just my style.
Yeah,
it's not for everybody,
Sleep better at night.
Absolutely. I love it. I'll do some earnings trades where I hold them overnight, but those are just like little fun things with like low risk, a couple $100, where I'll pick a butterfly that it's either I'll be bullish or bearish. And I might, Netflix earnings is, if it's after the bell, I might put on a butterfly that's bullish. That's just a fun thing to do.
Now, do you have any? Are you favor any type of industry or market? You just care what's moving because like me, I'm just doing whatever is the flavor of the day or the week. Like right now, we're getting a big rally in like silver,
Right.
and we're doing great with that, and we're doing great with like what's happening just recently. Bitcoin's been moving the past couple of days, so like at stocks like MSTR and all those are doing pretty well. Do you stick with a certain industry, or you just kind of just going with what's moving?
Yeah, for my day trading, like in the morning, like when I'm just buying puts and calls, I have like about 20 stocks that I'm looking at because they just move well.
Hmm.
Their their options are tight. They're not, you don't have a wide bid ask. You got it tight, and so
So, are you day trading options too? You're in and
yeah.
out the same day?
Yeah, so
Okay.
like MU, I have certain things I'm looking for. Let's just say like my main ones: Apple, Netflix, Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta. Like I have what I call we call a mighty 90. That's the strategy. It can be getting long or short based on volume. I have what we call a volume runner when you're getting big volume, and we have something called continuous. Uh, uh, Continuous runner. So you're looking for it to continue in a certain direction. You get a big push and then you get a little bit of a pullback, and then you're expecting it to continue in the same, continue up or continue down. So I'm trading the stock options there and just buying puts and calls, which
So
just makes things.
percentage wise, how much? Because we have a lot of students. Because I'm a day trader, so we're day
Mhm.
trading the stock all day, and it looks like, and we have some traders in our room that do day trades the options.
Yeah.
Percentage wise, what do you? And by the way, for some people don't know what the word day trading means. Let's just clarify that. That means you're in and out the same day. Okay,
Right.
that's what day trading is. You hold a position overnight, then you're a swing trader. It can be short term, whatever. An investor is obviously a month down the road.
Mhm.
So percentage wise, what do you see? Are you doing more towards day trading options versus more your overnighters?
I don't have many overnighters. Most of everything I do is day
80,
trading.
20? What do you
What's
like
that?
doing?
I'd say like 90-10.
90-10. Okay,
Is my
wow. Okay.
day trading. And again, when I say day trading, that's my morning or during the day. If I'm trading, the stock that's moving, whether it's some of those I just mentioned, Apple, Amazon, all those. But then my iron condors on the S&P 500 SPX are, I open and close them the same day. I have a systematic process for you know my profit targets for those, and so they're day trades too. So it's just a different type of a day trade.
It's just that you get everybody that like, ooh, you're a day trader. That's dangerous. You're gonna lose all your money. What would you tell somebody?
It all comes down to your risk.
Right.
So like when I'm day trading, just buying puts and calls, like I already know, okay, and people ask me like, what position size are you? I'm like, I'm going to risk about $3,000 of buying power. So when I say I'm buying the 185 call in Tesla, because I think price is going to go up based on indicators. Number of contracts I'm doing is based on my buying power, and so I tell people you should know that too. Like, and then I have a max. Like I'll never, if I'm down X number of dollars, then I'm cutting it.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people, if you determine what your risk is, then you shouldn't have a problem. And if you're having problems, then you're going too big. For someone else, it might be $1,000 is the most I'm willing to, my buying power might be appropriate for them. For someone, maybe 10 grand. It just depends.
And like I said, we're coming up to the hour. We're almost done, and I just had a couple of popular questions I got messaged privately for some of my traders in the room. They keep asking me, and there's obviously no better person than to ask you about them. If someone was, looking to get into option trading, what is the first step they should take?
Yeah. I do beginner coaching for people that are beginners.
And what does that look like? What is
Yeah.
a
So
beginner like?
let me
People
go ahead.
understand, it's like my beginner is. You even know what a bid and offer is? And you'd be shocked
Right.
that people don't even know what that means.
Okay, let me go ahead and let me real quick share this. All right, there it is. Okay, so this is an outline of an agenda. I mean, so for me, I talked about this earlier, but I'm gathering information from them. You know, what's your experience? If they're just and if they're at a certain level that's like I'm a beginner, you know, I'm going to execute that plus delta to get their reality. Okay, and then we're gonna put that plan in place. So let me go ahead and share a new what it might look like based on. Give me a second here. I want to find it. Okay, just a second here. Okay, here it is. All right, let me go ahead and share this. Thank you for your patience here. Oh, there it is. Here we go. All right. So this is someone's plan for success. And so, and having a coaching session with them, and you can kind of see the bullets, like just making it a step-by-step process for them. It's almost like a checklist for them of things to do. Like this person's brand new, right?
Mhm.
So I even have things simple like download the Thinkorswim trading platform. You know, for paper trading, make sure you're doing this. I mean, I just walking someone through that is a beginner. And so I send this to them when I'm done coaching them so that they can have it. And then, you know, we can continue to stay in communication through email or whatever. But when it comes to somebody it's at the very beginning, that's where you just have to break it down from the very beginning and just walk them through how to get started. Uh, and then
Is there
also
any
knowing that,
preference of like a brokerage firm that you always encounter? People tell them what's right and wrong, or it's okay.
yeah, you know, it depends what you're, but I tell people, you know, Thinkorswim has always been what's best for me. So, you know, there's several different options out there. Some you just have to kind of decide on, you know, what type of broker works for you. Um, to me, it's got to have a really great analysis tab because I want to be able to analyze my trades and determine, you know, if they're, I mean, that's just what I do before I'm placing a trade is I like to look at the analysis of it, and the risk and everything. But
Now, we'll get Rich in here because Rich will basically share your screen. Now, if somebody wanted to learn a little bit more about getting into your program or just getting into your, I think you said you had a Discord or whatever, anything like that.
yeah,
How would they go about doing that?
yeah. So the
That-
Discord. So let me go back to the Discord. Um, so you
Here's
can
how it
join the
works.
Discord. It's let
Is
me.
that right there?
There we go. Yeah, I mean, you can join the Discord. Let's see. There's probably a link here. I don't know. Can you? If you, I can. I wonder if I can I send you a link?
Yeah, is that the link? I think we have the link right up there now. Is that the link?
Right. If you, yeah, the link is. Yeah,
And also, everyone, what you could do is you could take the
that's it.
QR code,
Yeah,
scan that QR code. We'll send it
yeah,
to you and forward
yeah,
to you. It'll be automated. We'll get it on this free workshop, and we'll share it to you. Whoever clicks right now, we'll get that over to you.
yeah.
You
So
know,
if you click on so go over to the channels and click on say Chad's Trades, or is that something I got to click on? I probably have to click on it. Here we go. So these are where I post like my trades in real time. So like my one DTE Iron Condor, my TLC trades. So and then we have the trader chat. This is where people um, ask me questions, and I have videos. I have the course, like my TLC course, and my one DTE that I trade. Other So I would say join the Discord. And then in terms of like coaching, just send me an email. Since I was part of navigation trading for 6 years, and since I'm not a part of navigation trading anymore, I'm kind of and that's so new. I'm kind of recreating. Like we used to have links at navigation trading to sign up for the coaching and whatnot. But if you just email me at my email, I'll be able to answer any of your questions and kind of get you going in terms of if you want to do a beginner coaching or if you want to do advanced coaching. Either one, I have agendas for all of them and can show you what that would look like. So,
all right, perfect. We'll get that done. Before we go, just a couple quick things just to ask you really quick. Any favorite books anyone should use that you like that someone could always get people fans of reading?
in terms trading books,
Yeah, trading books.
I mean, Trading in the Zone is always going to be my best one. That was, in terms of like, I've listened to that audiobook probably 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
Just because it helps develop mindset. And so like, I listened to it, and then a couple of years later, I was like, I need to go back and revisit kind of some of the things in Trading in the Zone. So that's always been my favorite.
Any favorite movie?
Oh man, I'm a big action guy. So not really.
A trading movie.
Oh, a trading movie. Oh, Wolf of Wall Street's the best, man. all the memes and gifs that come from that, it's hilarious.
It's definitely hilarious. Definitely hilarious. The most F-bombs ever in a movie in history, they said.
Really?
Yes, they said. More F-bombs in that one than any movie ever made. Right here, not too far from my house, actually, when that office was. Right here on Long Island, it started.
Yeah.
All right, well, Chad, well, listen, thank you much for taking the time to being here. And we'll get anyone that's interested. You can use that QR code in the top left-hand corner. We'll be able to send it to you. Or you got that link right there in the chat room with the Discord to access, Chad's
in my email.
Email
Make sure
also.
my email.
Yeah, we'll get your email out there too. And listen, everyone enjoy 2026. And same thing to you, Chad. Let's have a good year. I think it's going to be a really good year in the market. A lot of crazy things are going to be happening. And we look forward to having you back and look and see what you got. How's everything going with your day trading? We'll try to always be in touch.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week for another episode of Cyber Trading University's Cyber Traders. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel. We'll have some quick shorts made of this, some highlights, and we'll have the long version on the YouTube channel. Enjoy, everyone.